Hello, dear viewers, and a very warm welcome back to our channel, the space where we journey deep into the intricate world of the British royal family, bringing you stories that are not only compelling, but often deeply emotional. Today, we turn our attention to a matter that has stirred unease and concern among royal watchers around the world, the growing family troubles surrounding King Charles, which now seem to have taken a truly distressing turn involving none other than his eldest son and heir, Prince William. Before we dive into this somber and complex narrative at the heart of the monarchy's current challenges, please remember to show your support by liking this video, subscribing if you haven't already, and turning on the notification bell so you never miss an update about the House of Windsor. Your engagement truly helps us continue shedding light on these royal developments. For centuries, the British monarchy has stood as a symbol of stability, tradition, and unwavering duty. Yet beneath the grandeur of royal palaces and the weight of historic crowns, the royal family, like any family, grapples with the same human emotions: conflict, hurt, and reconciliation. What makes their situation unique, however, is that every disagreement and misunderstanding unfolds under the unrelenting gaze of the public. Every gesture, every remark, every fleeting expression becomes a headline, analyzed and debated across the globe. And it is within this very environment that new reports have emerged, suggesting that palace officials are in an urgent scramble to manage what is being described as a deepening internal rift. The cause? A growing strain between His Majesty, King Charles III, and his firstborn son, Prince William, the Prince of Wales. Sources close to the palace indicate that tensions began to rise only a few short weeks after what many had hoped would be a peaceful and constructive meeting between the monarch and his heir at Balmoral Castle in Scotland. Balmoral, as royal followers know, holds a cherished place in the family's history, a private refuge where generations of monarchs have sought comfort and reflection amidst the serenity of the Scottish Highlands. It was there, in that tranquil setting, that King Charles and Prince William reportedly shared an important one-on-one discussion. Officially, it was described as a simple opportunity to catch up. But in royal terms, that phrase often conceals a far deeper purpose, a chance to confront underlying issues and attempt to bridge growing divides. Insiders suggest that during this meeting, the two men discussed several pressing matters concerning both the public image and the future direction of the royal family. Yet rather than resolving old wounds, it appears the conversation may have reopened them. One of the most sensitive and painful topics, according to reports, revolved around the king's recent attempts to rebuild his relationship with his younger son, Prince Harry. For years, the rift between William and Harry has played out painfully in full public view. Once, they were inseparable, the beloved Fab Four, alongside Catherine and Meghan, until a storm of accusations, personal revelations, and transatlantic departures fractured that unity. As a father, King Charles's longing to make peace with Harry is deeply understandable, especially as he continues to face his own health challenges. Yet Prince William's feelings on the matter, it seems, differ profoundly. According to sources close to the palace, Prince William was left deeply angered by his father's gestures toward Prince Harry, gestures that seemed to signal a willingness to reconcile. For William, who remains estranged from his younger brother, such efforts reportedly struck a painful and frustrating chord. This difference in approach toward the ongoing Harry issue has, insiders say, exposed a growing divide between father and son, one that extends beyond personal feelings into questions of royal strategy, image, and the long-term unity of the monarchy itself. As the future king, William is said to view the stability and cohesion of the core working royal family as absolutely essential. From his perspective, the continuing turmoil surrounding Prince Harry represents not only a personal wound, but also an ongoing distraction that undermines the credibility of the very institution he is destined to lead. But, dear viewers, the disagreements between King Charles and Prince William reportedly did not end there. Another highly sensitive, and indeed deeply embarrassing issue that the Prince of Wales is said to have raised concerned the need for firm, decisive action against his uncle Prince Andrew and Andrew's former wife Sarah Ferguson. According to royal insiders, William expressed frustration over yet another wave of embarrassment brought upon the royal family by the pair, particularly due to their lingering and controversial ties to the late financier Jeffrey Epstein, whose criminal legacy continues to cast a dark and enduring shadow over the monarchy. Despite Prince Andrew's fall from grace, having been stripped of his honorary military titles and royal patronages, and effectively removed from public life, the echoes of scandal persist. His name and image, when linked once again to the Epstein affair, continue to generate discomfort and reputational strain for the crown, Prince William. Ever mindful of public trust and the need to safeguard the monarchy's dignity, is said to be adamant that any remaining association with figures tainted by scandal must be decisively and permanently severed. He believes that those involved should face clear, uncompromising consequences, not out of malice, but in the interest of protecting the institution's integrity. Sarah Ferguson's continued proximity to royal events and properties, even if in a limited or informal capacity, reportedly adds to William's unease. To him, any link that could potentially endanger the monarchy's standing must be carefully removed, ensuring a clean and complete break from the controversies of the past. Naturally, when such reports begin to circulate, the palace machinery moves swiftly to contain the narrative. Indeed, official palace sources were quick to deny any notion of a feud between the king and the Prince of Wales, describing their recent exchanges as merely robust family discussions, rather than evidence of a deeper rift. However, for those who have observed royal dynamics closely over the years, this explanation appears far too neat. Seasoned commentators and royal analysts suggest that much more is happening behind the scenes, more than the polished statements from palace spokespeople would ever reveal. Among those offering insight is Rob Shooter, the well-known journalist behind Naughty But Nice Rob, and the Shooter Scoop, outlets recognized for their perceptive takes on celebrity and royal affairs. His analysis suggests that the palace denials may be more about optics than accuracy, a deliberate attempt to mask a far more serious internal tension. So what, you might wonder, could have shaken the trust between father and son so profoundly? What could have deepened this divide to such a degree? The answer, according to these troubling reports, lies in a moment that played out not behind palace walls, but in the public eye. During Prince William's appearance in the documentary, The Reluctant Traveler, hosted by the beloved actor Eugene Levy, best known from Schitt's Creek. It was during this seemingly light-hearted project that Prince William reportedly made remarks interpreted by his father, King Charles, as a quiet yet unmistakable betrayal. The comments were subtle, but their implications were unmistakable, a pointed reference to the king's past, specifically to his divorce from the late Princess Diana and his later marriage to Queen Camilla. While the exact phrasing and full context of Prince William's remarks remain essential, their implication has sparked deep reflection and controversy. It appears that William was speaking candidly about certain aspects of his upbringing and long-standing traditions within the royal household, elements he found challenging or emotionally difficult. For King Charles, however, who has spent decades carefully rebuilding his reputation and solidifying Queen Camilla's position in the public eye, such words from his own son, voiced openly in a public forum, were not received as a moment of heartfelt honesty. Instead, they were reportedly felt as a painful and personal betrayal. This interpretation reveals the immense emotional weight that lies just beneath the surface of royal duty and public appearances. It reminds us that even within the grandeur of monarchy, the vulnerabilities of family relationships still linger, sensitive, unhealed, and deeply human. One insider went so far as to stress that this is no longer merely a matter of family tension or emotional estrangement. No, dear viewers, the stakes are far greater. This, they said, is about the crown itself. That single phrase transforms what might seem like a private disagreement into a matter of constitutional and institutional gravity. When a fracture emerges between a reigning monarch and his direct heir, the effects ripple far beyond the family, shaking the very perception of the monarchy's stability and its unbroken line of continuity. The crown, after all, stands for unity, order, and an enduring lineage stretching back through centuries of British history. Any disruption within that line, especially between king and successor, inevitably sends tremors through the institution and those who hold it dear. Sadly, the fallout from this perceived betrayal has already become tangible. Reports now suggest that communication between King Charles and Prince William has come to a complete halt. The phrase often used by insiders, a collapse into silences, paints a bleak and striking picture. It suggests that not only have tensions risen, but that the most fundamental connection between father and son has broken down entirely. There are said to be no phone calls, no messages, no digital contact of any kind. In a modern world defined by instant communication, such total silence speaks volumes. It reflects a hurt so deep and anger so consuming that even the simplest gesture of reconciliation feels unreachable. And yet, amid this troubling quiet, there are whispers, faint but hopeful, of a possible peace walk. This phrase hints that behind palace walls, trusted courtiers or close confidants may be quietly working to mend the divide, attempting to reopen dialogue between the monarch and his heir. However, even these tentative efforts come with a sobering reality: trust, once broken, is extraordinarily hard to rebuild. Especially within a family like the Windsors, where private pain must coexist with public expectation and centuries of ceremonial duty. The bond between father and son, and indeed between monarch and heir, appears to have been shaken to its core. Rebuilding that trust will require time, honesty, and an extraordinary act of humility from both sides. Meanwhile, no official confirmation or denial has emerged regarding these reconciliation efforts, leaving royal observers and the public to piece together the story from carefully worded reports and quiet whispers leaking through the palace walls. Now, let us return for a moment to the comments themselves. The words Prince William shared during his conversation with Schitt's Creek star Eugene Levy. In what appeared to be a moment of genuine openness, William expressed his hope that we don't go back to some of the practices in the past that Harry and I had to grow up in. Those words, simple yet loaded with emotion, carry enormous weight. What exactly were those practices of the past he was referring to? Were they about the rigid protocols of royal childhood, the emotional distance, or the ever-present media glare that shaped both brothers' formative years? That question, dear viewers, remains the heart of this mystery, and perhaps the key to understanding just how deep this royal divide truly runs. It remains open to interpretation, of course, but one might reasonably infer that Prince William's words encompass a range of deeply personal experiences, from the intense and relentless media scrutiny he endured as a child, to the weight of public expectations, the perceived lack of personal freedom within the royal system, and perhaps most poignantly, the very public and painful breakdown of his parents' marriage. In essence, his comments speak to a longing for something different, a more modern, compassionate, and emotionally intelligent approach to royal life. A way forward that balances duty with humanity, tradition with understanding, and heritage with heart. The future king then reinforced his vision with an even more decisive statement: major changes are on his agenda. This, dear viewers, is perhaps the most revealing moment in this entire unfolding story. It signals that Prince William, the man destined to inherit the throne, is not content merely to accept the monarchy as it currently stands. Instead, he envisions a future shaped by his own principles, molded by the lessons of his upbringing, and refined by his personal values. In his eyes, the monarchy must evolve, not simply to survive, but to remain meaningful in the modern age. His desire for sweeping reform could involve a streamlined, more focused royal family, a redefined relationship with the media, or even a fundamental transformation in how the royals engage with the public and resolve their internal conflicts. Yet, the fact that he is expressing these ambitions publicly, and in ways that have reportedly caused his father such emotional turmoil, suggests that the monarchy now stands at a moment of profound transition, perhaps even quiet confrontation, within its highest ranks. So, what are your thoughts on this deeply personal yet institutionally significant rift? Do you believe Prince William is right to push for bold, sweeping change, or do you find yourself sympathizing with King Charles, a father and monarch striving to preserve what he has spent a lifetime building? We'd love to hear your perspectives in the comments below. Your insights always add depth to our discussions. And as always, if you found this analysis thought-provoking, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more detailed royal insights, and join us again for our next royal update as we continue to explore the ever-evolving world of the British monarchy. Thank you for watching.